for the efficient allocation of resources, supposedly for New Zealand's benefit, and also to be the great attractor, the attractor of permits. And I think people, Mr Chair.
Honourable Simon Bridges.
Mr Chair, I'm proud this bill is in my name. And I'm proud of that because this bill is about higher paid jobs in the provinces. The provinces that some of these people on this side of the House say they represent. But let me tell you, this bill is fundamentally about development and promoting development. And to refer to the clause, the purposes clause, the purpose of this Act is to promote prospecting for, exploration for and mining of Crown-owned minerals for the benefit of New Zealand. This bill, Mr Chair, is for the benefit of New Zealand, and the benefits from petroleum are immense in this country. Royalties and taxes, 42 cents in every dollar of profit, billions of dollars to the Crown over the years that go to pay for the schools and the hospitals and the roads that, yes, even the Greens drive on in oil-filled cars, Mr Speaker. For direct employment in the provinces and very high-paid jobs at that, I've seen them, young men and women earning $120, $150, in some cases $200,000 a year, ordinary Kiwis, and the indirect jobs in terms of the architects, the engineers, the hoteliers, the coffee makers. Quite clear in Taranaki where you see that. And yet, Mr Chair, we have in the Green Party one Gareth Hughes who's told the media, citing changes to employment legislation made to mollify the makers of the Hobbit movies and controversy over the Sky City National Convention Centre, Hughes believed there was a trend to change rules to benefit a, quote, corporate few. Well, I have contempt for that statement because there are 4,000 New Zealanders in Taranaki making a living out of this industry, direct jobs. Another 4,000 making it indirectly, the hoteliers and so on. They're not the corporate few, Mr Hughes. They're ordinary Kiwis of all ages, of all ethnicities. They're not corporates. They're just ordinary Kiwis who want to get ahead in this country and want to do well. And they don't get a fair go from parties like the Green Party over there who don't believe actually in development, sensible development, taking into account and protecting health and safety in the environment, and that's exactly what this bill provides for. In fact, it ups the standards in those areas quite considerably, and yet we have the kind of bogus claims we've seen from the other side, Mr Chair. And then we come to the SOP, which Labour and the Greens and Moana Maki go on and on and on about. And what drivel they are speaking, Mr Chair, what absolute drivel. Because when they read it, I know that's difficult for one or two of them, but when they read it, what is very clear is we are stopping criminal damage and criminal interference. Protest doesn't even come into it, Mr Chair. And here's the problem with the Labour Green position. Effectively, and I challenge Gareth Hughes when he takes a call, and Damien O'Connor, actually I understand, would have voted for this bill, but he was muffled by his party. He would have voted for this bill, but he was muffled by his party. Well, Gareth Hughes, I say to Mr Hughes, well, here's the problem with your position. What Mr Hughes, what Moana Maki, and sadly for Damien O'Connor, because he has to vote against this bill even though he doesn't want to, what they're saying is, yes, rights, democratic rights for our mates, for people who share our political beliefs, actually our political prejudices, but not real rights for people who disagree with us. And I'll tell you what I learned at law school, Ms Mackey, is that real rights are rights for people who disagree with you, not just your prejudices, Mr Hughes. Real rights are rights for people who disagree with you. And so I asked Mr Hughes to give me an answer in this House to this question. Do Kiwis working hard on those exploration vessels not have rights as well? Do they not have rights not to be subject to criminal damage, to interference, and frankly, Mr Hughes, from some of your mates, harassment? Because I reckon they do, and I reckon most New Zealanders do too, believe that actually they have got a right to a fair go as well. Rights are a two-way thing, Ms Mackey. And so, Gareth Hughes, I want you to tell me, do they have rights as well, or do their rights not count? Because, Mr Chair,
Honourable Simon
because, Mr Chair, what's quite clear over this side of the House is a view that says the ends justify the means, right? The ends justify the means. They are so clear in their smarmy little Chardonnay socialist worlds, they are so clear that they are right, that they don't care about other people's rights. Rights for our side, no rights for anyone else. Well, I tell you what, Mr Hughes, business people in this country have rights too, actually. And talking about business and development isn't actually a shameful thing. Actually, it's what makes the world go round, and it what pays for all your socialist ideas, frankly. So, Mr Chair, it's been good to take this brief call and to say that what's so wrong, actually, with these vessels going out, exploring, and seeing what lies underneath our feet hundreds of miles outside. And be very clear, Mr Hughes, there are Kiwis on these vessels, because I've met them. I met a chef on a seismic vessel from Invercargill who was loving the work, loving the people, and proud of what he's doing. He was proud to be out there. And so I say, Mr Hughes, actually this bill is about development. This bill is about higher paying jobs in the provinces that National holds, because we actually care about the people out there. And also, this bill is about rights, not just for the trendy lefties that Mr Hughes and Ms Moana Mackey talk to, but also for other people who they happen to disagree with, because that's the real test of rights, rights for those you disagree with.
Honourable Damien O'Connor.